Bond, building food and farming for the future together. We are the stewards of this beautiful planet we call home. Right now, world leaders from every continent are under extreme pressure to reverse the effects of climate change before it's too late. Its impacts can be seen in our farming and food systems. Late frosts and alien insect species can decimate harvests. Poor soils deliver poor yields, and farmer livelihoods are put at risk. But although agriculture is one of the casualties of a damaged environment, it is also one of the main perpetrators. Fertilizers run through our soils and into our rivers and seas, consumed by fish, which then end up on our plates. Monocropping strips soil of its essential nutrients. Pesticides destroy biodiversity. Insecticides kill beneficial insects vital for healthy ecosystems. Lorries, driving hundreds of miles to deliver industrially produced food, pollute our atmosphere. Currently, our food system is responsible for as much as 30% of global carbon emissions. And it is not only the planet that is exploited. Cheap fruit is often picked by underpaid migrant workers. Animals are bred and raised in tiny cages instead of fields, subjected to steroid implants to alter their growth. But farming doesn't have to be like this. Smaller farms with mixed produce can provide a part of the solution. There are farmers who reject hormones and pesticides, insecticides and fertilizers, and instead try to work with nature rather than against it. This type of farming is agroecological. Growing and maintaining hedgerows to encourage birds naturally keeps pests under control, so there is no need to use insecticide, which leaves bees healthy to pollinate the crops. Cows can eat grass untainted by chemicals, so when we drink their organic milk, we are healthier for it. Agroecological farmers know the importance of healthy soil, encouraging the insects and earthworms you can see and the microbes you can't, working alongside nature to build ecosystems that teem with life. Nourishing the earth with organic matter and animal waste, farmers develop circular systems and cut down methane from livestock. Healthy soils keep in carbon, reducing its emission into the air. Even regenerating poor soils, agroecological farmers can, over time, coax the life back into them. These farmers cultivate sustainably, living in harmony with the land and its resources, and the food they produce is testimony to their labor of love.
Ten skutečný rozdíl mezi ekologickým a konvenčním zemědělstvím je to, že ekologické zemědělství, zvlášť agroekologické zemědělství, klade důraz a vždycky se snaží spíš jakoby zabývat tím jakoby celkem. A úkolem zemědělce, toho hospodáře, je se snažit, aby ten celý organismus byl zdravý. Nezabývat se až tak jednotlivostmi, jako jednotlivými škůdci, jednotlivými chorobami, ale dbát na to, aby celý ten organismus byl zdravý a posilovat ho a kultivovat ho.
Agroecology brings gender balance to farming. Typically, industrial farming has been a male-dominated world, but agroecological farming attracts more women than men. The agroecological practices based on values of care and respect provide an attractive entrance point for more women to find their place in the farming system. In a domain of big machines, agroecological farming approaches the land on a human scale, focusing on the delicate relations between nature and cultural plants, between animals and their environment. And it is this valuable, nurturing female principle that we have long been missing in our food and farming systems. This type of farming is hard work. Individuals must manage their land alongside processing, marketing, selling, and delivering. Often, they do their own accounting as well as educating consumers on the value of agroecologically produced food. There are often not enough hours in the day to do it all, and it's very hard to find time for family and a social life. Isolation is a massive problem, which is why community can be so important. Sharing common challenges and sharing solutions gives vital support, even just to show someone they are not alone. When small farmers choose cooperation in favor of competition, tools and experience can be shared. They can find markets together. It can be hard for small farms to be profitable, but when several come together to sell directly to consumers, they receive the full value of their produce. Right now in Europe, there is an aging farmer population, and bringing together young and old to share ideas and learn from each other is invaluable. New entrant farmers, those who are the first in their families who want to farm, face problems accessing land. Community-supported agriculture gives them an opportunity to start farming by sharing the risks with their consumers. And consumers have the opportunity to learn how their food is grown and experience the benefit of being closer to the land and where their food comes from. New entrant farmers farm because they want to, not because they have inherited a farm. They are passionate and innovative, exactly the right people to bring new life and energy to rural areas. Their different backgrounds can help them connect with other complementary businesses such as tourism or social care. They see the potential and the steps forward to diversify farm activities and reach different markets, including food processing and education for children and adults. New entrants often bring the sense of environmental care and social involvement that the industrial farming is missing, thus creating a new story of farming, a story based on collectivity and respect for others and the environment, creativity, and care. The children of farmers don't always want to be farmers themselves. And so, family farms disappear without a successor, the land being sold for development. In addition, a great proportion of current EU farmers are over 65. So these newcomers are vital, not only for the sake of bringing new and dynamic approaches to farming, but to secure the future of the farming sector. And not only for the small family farms, but bigger businesses too. Current legislation makes this difficult. The voice of the small farmer when it comes to agricultural policy is too often lost in the shouts of huge industrial producers. The Bond project was designed to facilitate cooperation between farmers and farmer groups, building networks with other organizations and equipping them with tools to propose policy using their expert on-the-ground knowledge and supporting them in bringing these proposals to policymakers. Bringing new entrant farmers together with those who have farmed the same land for generations enabled great learning opportunities. New entrants could benefit from the wisdom and experience of family farmers, and the family farmers could have their ways and methods challenged and their passion for farming reignited by the new entrants.
Collective action means reflecting and being aware of the present condition and come together and organize ourselves to represent our own interests in front of government and come together.
Through Bond, farmers and land managers had the opportunity to visit real examples of successful collaboration from farm shops in the UK and France to markets in Spain, small honey cooperatives in Italy to the huge established and politically influential dairy cooperatives in the Netherlands and Norway. They encountered farmers' unions and tool-sharing collectives, pasture-fed cow cooperatives and social care farms, fish markets and urban farms, market gardens, farms powered by wind, and school catering menus designed and supplied entirely from local organic producers. By seeing and tasting what was possible there, it allowed them to consider what might be possible in their own countries. They asked questions and discussed what they experienced with each other. They learned that agroecological farmers work well together because they share ethics and a common vision. They learned that one size doesn't fit all, and any new initiative needs to be adapted to the needs and nuances of their land and localities. Farmers who'd been fearful of cooperatives because of their country's history were able to reimagine cooperating on different terms. They learned how to identify potential partners and gather stakeholders together to reach a common goal. They learned how to foster formal and informal cooperation, grow trust, cement commitment, and resolve conflict. How to build organizations democratically. And as their learning and understanding grew, their connections flourished. They dreamed dreams and wrote action plans. They returned home to share their new knowledge and enthusiasm. And as a result, new associations, cooperatives, and federations were birthed all over Europe. Regional policy roundtables showcased successful collaborations between municipalities and farmer groups, such as the redesign of a school menu to include lesser-known fish, typically considered waste. Fishers, who previously only supplied restaurants, suddenly had a new market, and school children had better diets from fresh local sources. Family farming was brought into the spotlight in front of a variety of actors at local, national, and international levels. Small farmers, who had formed unions with other small farmers, suddenly had a voice and were given a place at the table. There was discussion around the transition of agriculture towards social and not just economic values. As groups that previously might not have sat at a table together before began to bond and learn about each other's views, they discovered common ground and ideas, and solutions presented themselves. Those that work in the field were now in a position to inform the policies that would govern their livelihoods. Farmer representatives and government institutions made commitments to each other. During the course of the project, 13 memoranda of understanding were signed.
Collective action is the basis of our organizations because together we are stronger. We have similar problems, so I think that together is better to solve them.
We can't look to the future without investing in and listening to the youth.
Nei, jeg har jo tro på at samvirke er kjempeviktig for bærekraft og for norsk matproduksjon. Norske ressurser inn i fremtiden, så var det ikke noe, når jeg ble invitert, så var det ikke noe spørsmål. Det var veldig interessant, da. Der var det jo grisebønder, kornbønder, sau, ku, mjølk, hele spektret. Og folk har veldig forskjellig perspektiv, men samvirke er uansett noe som gagner alle, da.
The Bond Project hosted a youth forum for the future, bringing together 34 farmers from 34 European countries, all under age 34. This new generation of farmers shared their visions, expressed their needs and aspirations, and provided fresh perspectives. The forum gave them a platform to hear and be heard. They came together from a wide variety of backgrounds and experiences. But as a result of their collective discussions, they forged a joint declaration with policy recommendations and solutions that has now been sent to policymakers in Europe. Based on the enthusiasm, insight, creativity, and commitment of these 34, we can be confident the future of our food and farming is in good hands. And we, the consumers, have our part to play by choosing food that doesn't cost the earth. Free roaming, organic, and pasture-fed animals not only produce better meat, eggs, and dairy products, farmers that make animal well-being a touchstone of their practice and ensure their natural behavior needs are met, demonstrate responsibility and respect. Society is as developed as it takes care of the weakest. The same is true for the treatment of humans. Buying cheap fruit of unknown origin from a supermarket can be unwittingly supporting exploitation of labor. As a consumer, the power is in our hands. The time to act is now. We can be part of our local agroecological communities. We can take an interest in our local farms, buying directly or from farmers' markets. We can join community-supported agriculture initiatives and receive a regular share of the crop. We can choose organic and free-range, looking out for high animal welfare standards where possible. We can take an interest in the politics of agriculture. We can lobby our politicians and support reform that nurtures a healthier, fairer food sector. Agroecology is more than just a way of farming. It is a social movement. If we recognize the value of food produced purely, locally, and fairly, we recognize the value of the farmers behind it and will be willing to pay what good food is worth. We can stand with the farmers and stand with our planet, knowing there's a better way. Only together, as farmers, eaters, researchers, teachers, can we be the change we want to see in the world. Together, we can change our food and farming system to meet the needs for sustainability, solidarity, justice, and care.